Welcome to Energy 101, where we ask the dumb questions so you don't have to. I guess this is our first official episode. We just came up with this idea thanks to Julie, hopped in the podcast studio, and here we are.
5 minutes in the making.
The best ideas come from that.
Exactly. We were just talking about how there isn't a good resource for people who may work in energy or oil and gas, but not necessarily in the depths, in the field, boots on the ground. So what I want to know from you guys is, what's your background? What do you know about energy? And what are we hoping to deliver with the podcast?
Yeah, I'll go first. I'm Julie, and I'm a co-founder here at Digital Wildcatters. I am from Midland, Texas. My dad worked in the industry for almost 40 years. He works at Halliburton. So I feel like I grew up in oil and gas, but I totally took it all for granted, and it was all just kind of there my entire life. I didn't really realize that people didn't know what roughnecks were and what a pump jack was. So all of that was kind of just ingrained in me. But that does not mean that I know any of like the technical side of things. And it intrigues me to, how does an offshore rig work, or even like the other verticals? I'm really, really interested in nuclear and hydro. Like, I think all of those things are very interesting, and I'm excited to dive deeper on these topics, especially like when things are in the news, and they kind of don't explain it well. But as someone who doesn't know enough about energy, I don't know that it's not explained well,
Right.
until I have someone like Colin who is, like, that was really stupid that they said that. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that was really stupid. So I'm excited to dive down deep and just ask the dumb questions so no one else has to. Missy, what about you?
Hi, my name is Misty. I am an executive assistant here at Digital Wildcatters. I've been here for about a year now. My family is originally from West Texas. My grandfather worked for Halliburton for all his life, and my dad also worked for various oil fields out there. That moved my family to College Station, where I was born. But we would continue to travel back like 2 or 3 times a year. So I'm very familiar with the area, definitely familiar with the smell. I always knew we were getting closer to my grandparents' house when you would start smelling that sweet, sweet Texas tea smell. My job now and my previous job both have to do with energy, but I still feel like I don't know that much about it. So that's why I'm here. I want to raise my IQ in the energy. And so, yeah, passing it to you, Jules.
Yeah. Hey, everyone. I'm Jules. I am from Houston, but I moved to New York to go to fashion school back in 2017. I just finished school back in January and then started here at Digital Wildcatters. I think it's really, really important that we talk about energy, educate the Gen Zers like myself, because I think we don't realize what a big role the oil and gas industry and energy as a whole plays in things like the fashion industry and just everything we do in our daily lives. So I think that's really important, and that's why I'm here, to learn more and educate the Gen Zers amongst myself. Sid?
Jules, I'm in the same boat as you. I'm Sydney. I am the event manager at Digital Wildcatters. I am not even from Texas, so energy, oil, and gas is still fairly foreign to me. Growing up in Florida, it's just not something that's talked about. I think you get a lot of it in Texas, Louisiana, some of these energy-heavy states, but I don't think until I moved here 7 years ago, I didn't even realize how big the energy sector really was. Some of my clients were energy, oil, and gas, but I was just helping with them I'm going to start that over. So when I moved here, a lot of my clients I was working with were in energy and oil and gas, but I was just helping them with their events. I, again, wasn't boots on the ground, still didn't know really what their companies even did, other than I knew, oh, they make gasoline. I can see their name like when I go to fill up gas. So along with the rest of you, and kind of one of our missions here at Digital Wildcatters is to raise the world energy IQ. So we're going to ask the dumb questions so you don't have to. Everything from those specific topics to really the basics, because I feel like I know nothing. And I'm learning every day, and I'm, still grateful for all of you to help me help me learn and not laugh at me when I do ask the dumb questions.
I agree. It's really nice to be in a place where it's okay to ask questions and actually say, no, I don't get it. Can you please whiteboard that for me?
Draw that out.
Yeah. What does that actually mean? So I'm excited. I think that each week, it won't be all of us, but one of us or two of us will dive in with an expert and make them teach us.
Yeah. I have a little funny story. So I also forgot to mention that I am a marketing coordinator here at Digital Wildcatters. But when I first started, it's so funny because everyone's walking around talking about ESG. And for the longest time, I just pretended to know what it meant. So every time someone would talk about it, I'm like, oh yeah, ESG, like I know what that means. Had no idea what it means.
What is ESG?
It is environmental, social governance, I believe. Julie, can you back me on that?
Yeah, but also I didn't know what ESG. You know how many times I have to pretend I know what something is? I do it all the time. Google is my best friend.
Yes,
but
agreed.
even then, it doesn't like ingrain deep in your mind because you're not doing it. You're not in the field. That's why I always say, like, if you are in the field and you're able to apply the knowledge you're learning, it's so much easier to learn. Which, side note, this is really cool, but I think eventually that we'll be able to go on rigs in Midland or wherever on little field trips.
I love
with
a
our
field
team
trip.
here at
Yes.
Digital Wildcatters, and we will definitely take a long video and ask what every piece of machinery is. But I think it's just cool that we will be able to go and see that in action and be like, oh, I actually know what that means.
Yeah,
Or what it is.
definitely. Yeah, I'm excited. I never thought I would say, like, I'm excited to go on a field trip to an oil rig, but here I am.
Here we are.
So it's exciting.
I have a similar story. I don't think I told you guys this yet. I should have said it as soon as I got back. When I was in Chicago a couple weekends ago, one of our Ubers was a Tesla. And so I was like talking to the driver. I think my friends were getting annoyed with me because I was like, so like, do you drive a Tesla because you're worried about emissions or whatever? And basically I was trolling him because I was like, you know that when you plug your Tesla in, that energy is coming from oil and gas. And he, like, under his breath, was like, no, it's not. I'm like, sir, you should do your research. I work in energy.
That's so funny. I love, like working here, we all just have a new love for oil and gas and energy, like stuff I really didn't care about. And now I'm the one out like, wrong, or did you know? So it's funny, but it's good.
I think that's kind of it for this first episode.
Yeah.
Can we plug our event coming up, Sydney?
Yes. We have our first Fuse conference. It is our kind of inaugural energy tech in-person conference. The conference itself is 2 days, October 26th and 27th. Eighth Wonder is our home base, but we have multiple venues in kind of a 4-block radius. Streets will be shut down. Think South by Southwest festival, super fun. That digital wildcatter vibe energy that everyone loves. Please do not come in a suit. Come comfortable. There's also a kickoff party at Truck Yard. So that's something I guess new that we're adding, a little more of a party element to kick everything off. It'll be 2 days full of energy tech content, speakers, keynotes. There's also a pitch competition, which I'm super stoked about. Jules, do you want to talk about some of the speakers we have coming?
Yes. So we have Toby Rice from EQT on the lineup, Leslie Beyer from the Energy Workforce and Technology Council, Dan Pickering. We have a long list of really awesome energy tech innovators in the space that are going to be joining us. So it's going to be an event you don't want to miss.
We're trying to get Elon Musk. Just throwing that out there. If we have any connects,
any of our
hit us up.
listeners,
we'll pay for a referral.
Exactly. There's also free beer for a couple hours each day. Lots of fun things, exhibitors. I also have it on good authority that there may be an electric frac pump.
Ooh.
I know.
I'm really excited to honestly learn more about energy before this conference so I can actually learn about energy tech and why it's so needed.
Yes.
Because as we say, it's not an energy transition. It's an
energy
addition.
addition.
We're so smart.
We're doing it. Is that it?
Yeah. All right. Thanks for listening. Catch us next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Look at that.
Bye.
Bye.